The Environmental Protection Agency has removed half of its scientific board. These are individuals who are academics, who are trained scientists, who do very important work pertaining to our drinking water and our environment. And the government has decided that they're not going to renew the contracts of these individuals because they'd rather replace them with industry types. Now, Scott Pruitt, the EPA administrator, has chosen not to renew the terms of 9 of the 18-member board of scientific counselors, which advises the EPA on the quality and accuracy of the science it produces. The group, largely made up of academics, is set to be replaced by representatives from industries that the EPA regulates. So, I mean, corporations just didn't have enough of a say here in the United States. So why not give them government jobs so they can do things that suit their best interests as opposed to the best interests of the American people? So the committee has been eviscerated, according to the chair of the EPA. I'm sorry, the chair of the board. The committee has been eviscerated. We assumed these people would be renewed, and there was no reason or indication they wouldn't be. These people aren't Obama appointees, they are scientific appointees. To have a political decision to get rid of them was a shock. I would disagree. I don't think it's a shock. This is something that I could totally expect in Trump's administration. And so, yeah, they are looking out for the best interests of these corporations. They don't care about the environment. They don't care about your drinking water. They don't care about, chemical safety and all these other things that these academics had been focusing on.
Yeah, I feel bad for them because they probably naively thought no, but they're not going to just take scientists and fire them and replace them with political hacks who just work for the companies that we're supposed to actually check on. So regulators are kind of like cops, right? They want to make sure you're not breaking the law, you're not hurting people by putting dangerous stuff in the water or the air, etc. So they were surprised to find out that they would fire the cops and hire the robbers. But that's the whole point of the Trump administration. Scott Pruitt sued the EPA 13 times. Scott Pruitt talked about how he wanted to destroy the EPA, and they put him in charge of the EPA.
One of the reasons why he sued the EPA was because he disagreed with regulations pertaining to pesticides. The EPA had banned a specific type of pesticide because it was found to be dangerous, not only to the environment, but also to humans. And Scott Pruitt was like, no, don't agree. I'm gonna go ahead and sue them. But who are you, Scott Pruitt? Are you a scientist? Are you an expert or are you a political hack? And that's exactly what he is.
Well, in fact, he's taken money from those same corporations. I know that comes as a huge shock to you guys. And when he was the Attorney General of Oklahoma, he would sometimes copy and paste stuff that lobbyists had sent him and then sue the EPA with their words, okay?
That's right.
That's who he works for. And by the way, since he's been the head of the EPA, that same pesticide, he removed the ban on it, even though the scientists at the EPA said that it harms children and farm workers.
Who cares about them?
But literally, because and a spokesman for the agency, and hence Scott Pruitt, said the administrator, that's Pruitt, believes we should have people on this board, the scientific board, who understands the impact of regulations on the regulated community. They don't mean your community. They don't mean your families and where you live. They mean the regulated community means the businesses who are being regulated. So they say, well, we need their representatives to unregulate them. What are they, Ferengi? Anyway, so no. They paint it like, oh, these poor guys have no representation. They have no voice. No, they have giant lobbyists. Those corporations
they have
are
disproportionate representation. They have more representation than the average American does, and they will continue to do so.
They already have all these lobbyists. They already pressure the EPA. They already make their case to the EPA and to the politicians nonstop. It's not like, oh, I never heard of them. Oh, the company that makes pesticides, oh, they care about this issue? Huh. Well, I wonder why they didn't bring it up. No, they brought it up to the tune of millions of dollars constantly. So the opposite of corporate hacks who are there to unregulate these businesses, no matter how dangerous the products, are not real scientists. The opposite of those guys, if at all, and this is totally unfair, but are environmental activists. So scientists are not on that spectrum. And they're the ones who are supposed to have this job. This job is, hey, let's determine, is the pesticide dangerous or is it not? Because by the way, we might need pesticides. We might need to kill the bugs on the things. And if they're safe, good, that helps and etc. But if they're not safe, we don't want the kids and the farm workers to die or to get sick, right? So if a Democrat came in and said, I don't want any scientists, I'm only gonna put environmental activists in, people would lose it. They'd be like, whoa, my God, how dare you? You're just turning over the EPA to Greenpeace. By the way, again, it's monumentally unfair because Greenpeace and environmental activists believe in science.
Right.
And they don't have a financial motive like the guys who are gonna come on this board that actually is a conflict of interest. They wanna serve the people who pay them and not the people who they're supposed to protect. It's the Environmental Protection Agency. They're supposed to protect the environment and they're gonna do the exact opposite. This is exactly what Donald Trump gets you. Young Turks membership creates independent media.
Believe me.
No ads.
Believe me.
All the shows.
Believe me.
On demand.
Believe me.
Support independent media.
Believe me.
It's awesome, tremendous, you'll love it.
Believe me.
And by the end, you'll be thinking,
I'm like a smart person.
tytnetwork.com/join.